Hello, welcome to SquishiVision. I haven't just finished watching Andor. Thank God for spoilers. I finished watching it not last week, but no, maybe the last week. No, the week before. I can't remember. Basically, I had to binge watch like 6 of the episodes all at once, which is half the season. I thought I'd reacted to the 3 I hadn't seen. Apparently not. So I can't remember if it was like the middle 6 I had to binge, the last 6. Honestly, I can't remember. There's no point stressing about it. I've been busy. I've been LARPing like a lot. And frankly, it's just I'm exhausted. So I have about 10 minutes because I've got to go pray to react to the entirety of season. We might as well do the entirety of season 2 of Andor, minus the first few episodes. I'm sure I spoke about that, and God knows I can't remember the first 3 episodes at this point. Or I can, but not in enough detail. So this is gonna be like a very bad, bare bone, emotive reaction to Andor, but I enjoyed it. I don't think it had the same wham moment as season 1, but I do think it made up. Well, I didn't make up for anything, but it did suitably depict, I think, a lot of very raw and honest views of leftist rebellion uprising. Be that of a leftist infighting, be that the growth of fractured groups into one unified force. I do like the kind of model of each arc is like a different year, because you can kind of like jump character arcs. Tony Gilroy makes it work. You don't feel like, oh, why has Andor changed? What happened? I must see that to empathize. Maybe it's because I'm already a leftist activist. I just take for granted that, yeah, well, this makes sense. The more someone becomes kind of locked in on a cause, the more they change to this kind of personality. Like, it makes sense for Andor to have these jumps of growth. And I think my favorite part of this show, I think, has to be the finale. There's the last walk where you see Andor walking to what you know is gonna be his final mission ultimately, and his death. In the long run, and you jump to every other character who's remaining and where they are, and I think that's a really good finale for the show. I think it ended on a good note by doing that. I think it was a really good way to shoot it. And I think my complaint for the first few episodes was we're still doing the thing where Andor is the main character of the show, and yet he's the least interesting character. Not to say he's not interesting, he's just everyone else overshadows him, and that very quickly becomes not the case as Andor grows, becomes more than just being an agent of a insurgent force. He becomes a very kind of proactive member of the rebellion. You can see why he earns being a captain by the time he gets into Rogue One, or indeed the final part of the show. He's full on making, considering the wider kind of perspective of the rebellion and going into it. I really like the flashback episode between Kayla. I'm forgetting the name of the character. Claire. Yes, Claire and Luthen. I think that was needed, and it showed. Usually, I wasn't expecting to get like a background for Luthen, and to be fair, we still kind of don't. But it very much kind of felt like the more we know of it, I mean, it's Star Wars. Inevitably, you're gonna find out about everyone's backstory at some point or another. But if it felt like if we heard about it in this show, it would have kind of removed a lot of mystery. So that mystery's still there, but we get basically the most important thing is in the need answering was Luthen and Claire's relationship, and the show did that, and it strengthened kind of what we already knew. You can go back and you can watch their relationship in different context. It's a complicated relationship where Luthen used to be part of the forces doing a genocide against Claire's family, but then defects and becomes kind of her adopted father, even though neither of them really want to acknowledge it. But it is very much what the case is, and it's obvious that there is obvious that there is an affection between the two. I think I need to spend a lot of time talking about how phenomenally good Elizabeth Dula as Claire Markey was. She didn't have a Wikipedia article for like the longest time. Now she does. Clearly, from like her success on Andor, like literally someone made it on the 18th of May, because I think like yeah, just person needs an article. She was cast in the show like without any. She has been on screen before in like minimal roles, but oh, she's in Wicked. She's the voice of Dia. That's nice for her. For like what is essentially her first on-screen role, she is phenomenally good. Like she is the MVP of the show, to be honest. She has so much nuance and detail in her acting, just like spectacular. Like her the episode that was basically focused on her, and indeed actually literally that episode that was just Elizabeth Dula and Stellan Skarsgård. It became their show for like an episode. It was so good. Jamelia O'Reilly continues to knock it out of the park as Mon Mothma. The episode where she has to escape with Andor was like super tense. There was a lot of like super tense moments. It was like, especially like this Gorman arc, you watched it feeling like you were sitting on a powder keg, knowing that at any moment things were gonna blow up. And that was for me the most real episode, because like I, as a pro-Palestinian activist, go into, and especially as a journalist, go in like the heart of these moments, and that threat, that tenseness is there as well. So it was very real for me. Like I won't, be overly dramatic. At the moment, the worst thing that can happen to you protesting in Britain is you get arrested. That's still fairly traumatic, and God knows what happens to you like behind those closed doors. But there's no fear at the moment that by protesting in Britain I'm going to get shot or blown up or whatever. Yet. I mean, that's coming, because Britain's putting in more laws to kind of oppress. But like that's the thing. Like that's why it feels so real. Like knowing you can go to a protest and things can kick off so easily into a riot, and all you need is a lit match on that powder keg. And the fact that we're sitting on a powder keg, and every time we don't light the match, next time we have one of those, next time something happens, the powder keg just rises and rises and rises. Gorman arc was like at the end of all that. But in real life, a lot of people are living that at various stages. There are some people who are living that at that stage. Like this is the most real Star Wars, because it's not. It's as I said before. It's if we just made a show about rebellion, about resistance, about uprising, about standing against oppression. Like the whole chants, the all eyes on Gorma, all those chants. Those are very like people in leftist groups who have the correct way to kind of interpret this show have made connections to what's happening in Gaza, and it is very kind of on point. I need to go like 3 minutes, I think. What time is Isha? Should have like saved this. I got distracted by reading the Fundamentals article. I wish I had line tomorrow. 33. Okay, we've got 5 minutes. 5 minutes to wrap up the season. I had concerns about K2SO reappearing in the show, but they used him the right amount, and he was funny, and I loved the hallway scene. The hallway scene was really good. What's his name? Ben Mendelsohn continues to knock out Parker's awesome Krennic. But the scene where you've got Krennic and Miro in the city, like, and Krennic's interrogating Miro, that was just like, so like, that scene went so, like, you could tell Mendelsohn enjoyed acting that scene because it was so theatrical, but somehow still like very tense. So that was good. Benjamin Bratt, look, I usually really hate recasts, but Benjamin Brandt, I have to admit, did such a good job at making me think that I was watching Jimmy Smits. Still would have preferred it if Jimmy Smits was there, but if I was gonna believe anyone was Jimmy Smits and he wasn't Jimmy Smits, it would be Benjamin Bratt. Production values of the episode was so good. I shouldn't have started this stream so late. I had so much to say, but it's a show I probably might go back and actually rewatch. I don't rewatch shows often. I don't have the time to. But yeah, the episode where Andor has to extract Mothma, that was so good as well. Like, it was tense, but you also had a sense. You also could, because you knew both Andor and Mothma escape. Seeing it happen though just gives you that sense of hope that I really enjoyed. There was a lot of really good lines and like a lot of really dark moments, like Luthen being willing to sacrifice all of Gorman, and someone pointed out the reason why he was probably so inclined to do that is because he knows that he needed to see that trauma for himself, and Claire had to see that trauma for themselves to be inspired to be those rebels who were proactively fighting, and so he was willing to sacrifice. The fact that he was willing to the fact that he he killed what's her name? Lonnie Jones, Robert M's character, after like they'd given like so much service as a double agent, and literally the lion's mouth was like dark but so real. Right, final thoughts. I've got like a minute to give my final thoughts on this episode. On this show, even. Again, I think I didn't have the same like wham factors as season 1, and maybe I would have liked a bit more wham factors. But the ending definitely like landed on mark. So that was good. Doing these at like 2:30 in the morning. But if I don't do it now, I'm never gonna get it done. Anyway, okay, that's my cue to leave. So I'm gonna go, and then we'll come back, and I need to do my reaction to Mission Impossible the last one, and then Thunderbolts, and then we've cut up things. Right, bye.